Here we are at National Law Live 2016, the Careers Conference in Manchester. We're talking to Samantha Hope, of Graduate Recruitment and Development Manager at Shoosmiths. Hi Sam.
Hi Josh.
Thanks very much for talking to me. We were discussing in the panel earlier all aspects of the recruitment process and what aspiring lawyers can do to really make the best of themselves in this really competitive environment, but and also trying to dispel some myths about it to make it a bit less scary. So most firms obviously do online application forms as the first sort of application round these days. Do you have any special tips for the online application form? Does that have any sort of specific requirements that you would advise students to take into account and bear in mind?
So I think first and foremost is the spelling and grammar and making sure that you're answering every question on the application form. The way you're going to get your formatting across in the best way is by paragraphing, making sure that you're using a beginning, middle and end during the answers and the competency questions. But most of all, don't just talk about what you think that we want to hear. Make sure that answer is true to yourself and it is about you. The only real difference that you have against every other applicant is going to be your personality and how you get that across in those questions.
Cool. And I guess we should also discuss vacation schemes, an extremely important part of the recruitment process at so many firms. How important is the vacation scheme at Shoosmiths in your view? Do you recruit the majority of trainees through that, or is it what the proportion's like, and how important is it to be on a vacation scheme?
Yeah, so we, from the 22 trainee solicitors that we recruit per year, probably about a third of them will have been through our vacation scheme process. So it is really important, but I think the value is for the students in coming in and actually finding out if the firm is for them and if they feel comfortable in our firm. It's quite often seen as a one-way process where we're interviewing them and we're assessing students all the time, but there's just so much value for a student to come and actually meet us and spend a week in our office.
And finally, I have to ask a specific question to you, Sam, because we know that you're way ahead of many recruiters at firms in terms of your social media engagement and the use of technology.
Thanks, Josh.
I aim to please. Anyway, though, recruiters seem to differ in when I've spoken to them about what's appropriate to be the level of contact between students and recruiters. I don't mean in a dodgy sense, obviously, but I mean connecting on LinkedIn, engaging on Twitter and Facebook. Where would you draw the line? After meeting a student at, say, a networking event or a law fair, would you connect with them on LinkedIn, or would you discourage that kind of thing?
So my LinkedIn I use for my personal and professional development, so I don't connect with students through my personal profile. However, I do talk a lot about law, about students, about graduate recruitment, so it might be that you actually just want to follow me. So on LinkedIn you can follow people without actually connecting with them as friends. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those social networks, absolutely we want to engage with students on them, so do follow us. And we find that students are quite often happy to watch, to follow, to see what we're doing, but don't engage or ask questions very often. But when somebody does ask a question, it means that their name really sticks in our minds, and we love that, and we recognise it then when we meet them at a law fair or an insight evening, or they go on to apply. So asking a question on social media for us is definitely a way to get noticed.
And sorry, finally, do you think using social media in terms of students having their own Twitter accounts and stuff is really a must, or can give you a real added benefit to your engagement and experience? Would you expect students these days to really have Twitter handles?
Yeah, I think Twitter is great for students because they can have a profile that is designed for their professional development. So if they're tweeting about law or about their university degree, about the LPC, they might be tweeting about the legal events that they're attending, like National Law Live, and tweeting throughout the day. I've already seen people hashtagging with National Law Live 16 and talking about the event and following the conversation. That is fab. So if you can create a profile that shows what you're interested in, that's really going to drive you forward.
Samantha Hope, thanks very much for talking to us. Sound advice. Thank you.
Thank you.